Yeah, it's your boy Ray on the mic. Let's go.
Mic check, mic check. Welcome to On the Mic with Ray White, where we share life lessons, encourage self-reflection, and equip you to take action. My name is Ray White, and I am juiced that you're taking time to listen to this episode today. And another thing I want y'all to do today is to start claiming diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives as a part of your leadership and organizational cultures. If you remember in my previous episode, the 3 actions I see leaders taking in 2023, one of the first actions I stated was that we're no longer going to just hide behind the diversity, equity, and inclusion philosophy, statements, commitments, the words on the wall that we have set to accomplish, but actually put that into action. Taking those words off the walls, put it into action in the way that we behave, act, build relationships in community, and set the tone for the type of culture that we want to create within our institutions. And because of that, I don't want to just leave y'all there to be like, oh yeah, we gonna go ahead and take the words off the walls and we gonna take action. But you might be sitting there thinking like, okay, well, how do I take action? Like how do I make this a part of my daily rhythms as a leader, as somebody who is trying to create culture change within your workspaces and within your community? Well, don't trip, because I got you. CLAIM DEI. CLAIM is an acronym to help us factor in diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives into our daily practices. And I want it to be something that we can grasp and make it tangible to recognize how we can be that inclusive, belonging leader within our workspaces, and constantly check to whether or not we are doing the work necessary to make an inclusive community where every identity belongs and thrives. So the CLAIM acronym starts with C, which is communicate, L, which is learn, A, assess, I, infuse, and M, measure. And don't trip, because what I'm about to cut to is a video that I did on social media that walks through briefly what these 5 things are. And then we're going to circle back and talk about what this means and how we do this moving forward. So let's cut to that real quick. Not only do we need to commit to DE&I concepts within our institutions, we also need to claim DE&I practices within our leadership. Here are ways in which you can transition your DE&I statements into action in 2023. First, we need to communicate. Talk about your DE&I commitments regularly in your meetings, strategic plans, and goals. Also, communicate with your staff regularly to understand the bright spots and blind spots of where your DE&I initiatives are occurring. We move from C to L, where we learn. Continuously learning individually and institutionally the inequities experienced by marginalized identities in our society. And then with that, learn how you can increase your knowledge through specific education and trainings. Now we're going to assess. Leverage your DE&I statement as an assessment tool to see where you are currently and where you need to go on your equity journey. Take notes on what you see, because you're going to need this information later. Next, we're going to infuse. Interject your DE&I statement as your lens to increase the impact of your work. Continue to ask how particular initiatives and decisions reflect the DE&I statements you publicly stated, and then make the changes if there are misalignment. And finally, we're going to measure. While utilizing your DE&I statement as an assessment tool, create qualitative and quantitative metrics to define the gaps you're trying to close or how you plan to advance equity within your organization. Then set frequent cadence to check and adjust your progress of your initiative. Culture change starts with you. And when you claim DE&I within your leadership, you will create organizational change where every identity belongs and thrives. How will you claim DE&I within your leadership in 2023? Let me know in the comments and holla if you need help. Yes, claim DE&I. We can claim DE&I as a part of our practices, as a part of the way we do the work that we are trying to do. And what I want us to consider is that us claiming DE&I has a tremendous benefit for all of us, not just those who are leading, but those that we're serving as well. Because we want to create a space where people can show up authentically as themselves if they want to.
We want to create a space where we're not having any barriers to somebody getting access to achieve the goals or achieve the equity that they have been honored and have the dignity to have. We want to infuse dignity into the way that we build relationships and rapport with one another, and not let somebody's identity be a hindrance towards them experiencing this level of inclusivity, experiencing the level of worth that is a part of, that should be a part of our human experience. So we have to claim DE&I. We have to claim diversity, equity, and inclusion as a part of our day-to-day workspaces. And what I plan to do in the next over the course of this year, is to break down each one of those areas to help make diversity, equity, and inclusion as a part of our regular practices and a part of our regular workplace. Because it's one thing to hear it, but it's another thing to constantly reflect on it and take action and continue to learn and reflect on the actions that we've taken, so that way we continue to iterate, get better, not just for our own sake as leaders, but for the sake of those that we're serving, and to reduce and to break barriers and to level the playing field, or to advance the playing field, whatever that looks like, to usher in a new wave of belonging within our workspaces. So we're going to talk about Claim DE&I. You're going to hear that quite a bit in a few of the episodes moving forward in the future. Now, if you're sitting there thinking, Ray, I love the idea of claiming DE&I as a part of my leadership, I want to see it part of my organization, but I'm just struggling on how to do it. Or if you're sitting there like, Ray, I got specific questions of how I even can process what does it look like to be an equitable leader within my space, don't trip. I got you. Follow the link in the show notes or DM me the word coach, and you will receive a questionnaire that will outline the type of services I provide as a coach and a consultant to help guide leaders not only develop the equity lens, but how to integrate that as a part of their organizational and institutional strategies. Because I want to see you win. I want every leader and every organization and institution to have the tools necessary to build this inclusive community where every identity belongs and thrives. And we need each other in order to do that. So follow the link in the show notes, fill out the questionnaire, and you will receive a link to schedule a call so we could talk to see what are the specific areas that I can help support you in your endeavors of being the equitable leader that I know you could be. And we can grow together as a community with that as well. So follow the link in the show notes, DM me the word coach on all social media platforms at Ray Devante, and let's see what we can do to work together in this space. Continue to share your story with others, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.